Well, hello for this rather unorthodox and strange podcast. Anyway, I think my levels are a little bit hot coming in here, but I do have a bit of a treat. It's a little bit of a time warp. We're going to go back in time to one of my first productions I made. Because guess what? This is your daily Noonerino, and it's always news somewhere. And well, let's go back to 2014. Oh my God, it's almost like it was yesterday. All right, guys, I want to just dial it back to the piece that I did on the Crimean crisis back when Russia was being called out for advancing upon Crimea and having a parliamentary vote to join the Russian Federation. Let's go into this, and hopefully I can get the sound to work in my favor. I'm going to mute my mic because there's going to definitely be some feedback the way I have it set up. So just work with me on this, boys and ladies.
Regarding the neo-Nazi support.
Sorry, got to back it up. There we go.
Hey, people of the planet Earth. This is Robert Morris for Save Humanity. I got a little history lesson for all of you. This is in regards to the last two videos I've done regarding the neo-Nazi support by our lovely countries of Canada and US. We've installed a proxy government in the Ukraine made up of neo-Nazis. Yes. And anyway, listen, instead of the bite-sized morsels of bullshit that CNN, NBC, and Al Jazeera and all these other awesome utensils of news like to, and by utensils I mean tools, these damn tools that feed you crap all the time. I'm just giving you a top-down view of the events that took place. I'm not really trying to arrive to any conclusions. I might throw in a couple of my own personal predictions, but whatever. Take it for what it is. Come to your own conclusions. Read, do some research, look around. Don't just go to CBS or NBC or the Daily Post or whatever the hell it is. Go all over the place. Read everything you can find, because this information is all out there. I'm just kind of put together a little bit of a timeline. It is broken up. It does jump around back and forth a bit, so just bear with me, guys. I'm going to go to November 2013, where President Viktor Yanukovych of Ukraine, he announces that Ukraine is withdrawing its plans to sign the European Union's Association Agreement. And according to Wikipedia, it states that he was pursuing a loan bailout with Russia and closer ties with them. Well, as a result, some Western-backed organizations made up of wartime and post-war Nazi collaborators, a group called OUN-B, the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, had a plan to destabilize and overthrow Prime Minister Mykola Azarov, as well as overthrowing the democratically elected President Yanukovych. All right, well, February 2014, only a few months later, NATO, led by the EU, decided to back this regime change coup in the Ukraine with these groups. Now, about a week after accusing, this is in February, a week after accusing the Western governments for backing neo-Nazi terrorist organizations to put Ukraine under EU control, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov had a rather heated exchange with NATO's Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen. If I said that right, great. If not, well, with accusations of aggressive confrontational rhetoric. Lavrov knew it then and responded by stating this was the European Union's attempt to secure nuclear first strike status. Well, couldn't be more right, because that's exactly what's happened. in June or July. So, well, let's back up a few years. We're going to go back to 1997. A little bit of history here. In 97, there's a treaty of friendship, cooperation, and partnership, where a division of the Black Sea Fleet in Crimea was agreed and signed upon. Russia would get 80% of the fleet and a 20-year lease on the facilities within the Crimean port facilities in Sevastopol. A year later, the new Ukrainian constitution changed the name of Crimea to the Autonomous Republic of Crimea. However, Ukrainian parliament retained the right to veto any legislation passed by the Crimean parliament. So a little bit of a wrap around the throat there, if you know what I mean. So go back forward to 2001. Okay, just so you guys get an idea of the Crimean population here. There was a census, and it showed that Crimea was made up of 58.5% ethnic Russian, 24.4% ethnic Ukraine, and 12.1% Crimean Tatars. Okay, so just to give you an idea of who's who in Crimea. 5 years later, the main population showed disdain in an anti-NATO protest against NATO Marines in a joint drill between Ukraine and NATO, which was dubbed Sea Breeze 2006. That sounds so peaceful. Things started to go downhill from there. In 2008, the EU Eastern Partnership, which was started by Carl Bildt and Radek Sikorski, foreign ministers of Sweden and Poland, and this was after the heated events between Russia and Georgia in South Ossetia, or Ossetia. I guess I'm not sure how to say that. This partnership, though, was aimed at 6 former republics in the Soviet Union: Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia, Belarus, Moldova, and, you guessed it, Ukraine. The main objective was Ukraine. And even though none of these countries would have full EU membership, instead they would have an EU association agreement, the very same agreement that in November 2013, Viktor Yanukovych announced he was withdrawing from signing. So, this association agreement that he decided to withdraw from would not only dismantle Russia's trade agreement with Ukraine, but also end the lease in Crimea's Black Sea due to convergence and integration with the EU's defense system and NATO's forward basing on Russia's border. I mean, that shit would make anybody nervous, and whether Yanukovych was pro or against Russia doesn't matter. The fact is that people are placing their pieces on the board. If you understand what I'm trying to say, we've all played Risk, I think, most of us. Anyway, later in 2009, Ukraine's security service started criminal proceedings against the pro-Russian association, the People's Front, Sevastopol, Crimea, Russia. That was the name of it. But a year later, and without resolution regarding the EU association agreement, the Ukrainian parliament approved the extension of the Sevastopol lease to 2042. So now back to February 26, 2014. The Ukrainian president, Viktor Yanukovych, he's ousted from office, who fled the capital, Kiev, and apparently was granted Russian citizenship. Now, in Crimea, soon after that, while the mainstream media would have you believe that a hostile takeover was taking place, they moved apparent paramilitary forces and equipment to Crimean soil. Guess what? A parliamentary vote of 83% to join Russia was made, thereby protecting Russian use of Crimea's port facilities, and by the 18th, Crimea became part of the Russian Federation, which was ratified by the Federal Assembly in Russia by March 21st. Now, within a week of that taking place, the UN General Assembly passed the non-binding resolution 68-262, declaring that the Crimean referendum was invalid, the annexing of Crimea was illegal, and by the 15th, the Ukrainian parliament, under new leadership, declared Crimea as an occupied territory. Well, now, you can understand, I'm sure, just by playing games, strategy games, that what's happening here is a big power play. It's crazy. This is all this is. It's a power play. Russia's trying to keep its foothold and is trying to protect itself. EU and NATO are trying to move in to take over more space, to control and seize power. I don't like either of them. I think they're both dicks. But guess what? For this video, that's enough history. I'm going to follow up with another video that picks up from here and says more. We're going to get into Russia's arming of the Arctic Circle and some of their friends and see what they're doing. Because if you think that these are isolated events, you're wrong. These are all connected to everything else. And I'm talking about China, North Korea, Iran, Israel. These are all related events and they're all connected, guys. I'm going to show that to you. But anyway, thank you for listening. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and don't get bombed. I'm just joking. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Peace.
And that has been your daily Noonerino for the day. I wish I could have done more, but I did want to touch on a couple things. And one of the major points is that the activities that are taking place right now in this proxy war that is happening and where real lives are being lost, where human rights are being extinguished, where demoralization is happening at an ever more frequent level. I am going to impart this upon you guys and just have a long think about where we are now compared to where we were before, and is it all connected? I think we all know the answer to this. But anyway, this has been your short form Daily Noonerino. And despite all rumors of my not being here anymore, yes, I am very, very much getting better. Yeah, I had the plague for the last like 2 weeks. It's been fucking hell. But anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. And I'll be back with more real soon. And we'll be getting the gang back together again. And we're going to be talking about some real stuff. And we're going to be talking about the WEF, their influence on the entire dynamic. And that video I promised 7 years ago, the follow up to this one, it's coming soon. Don't worry. And we will be talking about arming the Arctic Circle. We'll be talking about the pyramids in Crimea. We'll be talking about a few other things as well. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm on the mend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Much love. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And don't forget, it's always noon somewhere. This has been your Daily Noonerino. I'm Robert J. Morris, and I'm out. Peace, guys. Much love.